Today, we'll look at rivers and their environs, where mysterious discoveries have been the talk echoing everywhere. Nobody expects much to erupt from beneath the murky waters, but do stick around as we unearth what probably no one was supposed to see. Yikes! Is that what I think it is? Let's find out, shall we? Number 11. Vampire Fish. The vampire fish reminds me of the infamous Dusk Till Dawn thriller that featured some devastating blood-sucking humanoids. Vampire fish, just like its close cousin, resembles something from a horror film and would faze the bravest of all. The 6-inch long fangs protruding from the lower jaw top off the grimy look. Even the dreaded piranha avoids crossing paths with this vicious species that won't hesitate to prey on fish 3 times its size. The water wolf seats at the top of the food chain, among the most devastating species in South America. It's also been a major threat to both human and fish life. Next time you decide to take a dip in the river, please be careful. You never know what's roaming beneath the murky waters. Number 10. YDE Girl. The YDE Girl was discovered in the river 2,000 years later, well preserved. The 2 men enjoying the breeze by the river near a Dutch village were interrupted by something weird that appeared on the surface. A closer inspection of the findings revealed something straight from the underworld, leaving the dub dashing for their lives. It was later discovered that the remains belonged to a mysterious girl who was offered as a human sacrifice. The state of the remains of the rope dangling from her neck told the tale. I don't think this body was supposed to be found. What a creepy encounter. Number 9. Goliath Tigerfish. The Congo River has way more to offer than gold. However, the fish inhabiting this water is feared, especially the Goliath tigerfish. What else can a 100-pound fish survive on, if not flesh? The Goliath tigerfish is a carnivore and won't mind taking a bite out of anything that moves. In the Congo, it has caused torment and distress to the residents residing on its banks after mauling a young girl who swam too far away from the river banks. The 20 or 30 set of jagged teeth do just fine when it comes to tearing into flesh pieces. What frightens me more is the fact that this species can jump out of the water and take a bite out of your neck. Number 8. Electric Eel. If you were hoping to encounter something electrifying, this is it. The electric eel, just as its name suggests, packs a lethal shock. It has a unique way of hunting, administering 500 volts of electricity to its prey. Not even predators are safe from its electric shockwaves. It's rare to come by and be seen only when hunger strikes and it's time to hunt. The only way to steer clear of this river monster is by avoiding the waters at all costs, because they have a way of sensing the food using a small electric current that they produce for that purpose. Number 7. Giant Freshwater Stingray. When you agree with friends to take a fishing adventure, you don't expect to be spending 2 hours reeling in something one of your mates catches. However, if you're in South Asia or Borneo, then you know the fishing fine print states that you might end up catching a huge freshwater stingray. The most remarkable catch ever was an 800-pound stingray that was caught by only a hook and string. It also turned the fishing escapade into a thrilling workout as the fishermen kept holding strong and turning the fishing rod for almost 2 hours. In the end, the sweat was worth it, as they got great pictures of the side of this 8-foot wide and 14-foot long flatfish. Number 6. Windover Site. When the populace around the Windover farm overburdened the housing schemes already present, a farmer resorted to turning the farmland into a housing development. Little did they know what secrets lurked underground of the farm held until a lady stumbled upon a bone. Upon examining it, she discovered that the strange bone had eye socket holes and truly resembled the human skeleton hanging in science classrooms. Not knowing what to do, she resorted to reporting the findings to a local authority, who quickly blew her off. She wasn't adamant to find out if there were any other treasures or fossils buried under the ground and contacted an archaeologist for their expertise. The small river was fully drained and excavations began soon after. Whatever happened in between is history, but the result of that excavation led to the most known prehistoric site ever in the 20th century. This followed suit after a mass grave containing over 150 bodies was discovered on the farm. Number 5. Old Kraken Man. This sewage or maintenance wasn't prepared for what they would discover when they were called to help a drainage ditch in Ireland one day. As they went on duty, they discovered the body of a man lying there in the bow. He seemed to have passed away a long time ago, but you could still tell apart distinct features about him. He was quite tall, measuring 6 feet tall, and had manicured hands, which suggested that in his time he didn't engage in any hard labor. The scientists who took the body for examination suggested that he may have lived in the early years BC. This shows that the content in the bow was strangely toxic and mummifying, and that's only one case that we've highlighted. There have been numerous bodies found in bows. Number 4. Sea Lamprey. We've already talked about one version of this fish vampire, but that wasn't the only one that fits its kind, as there are more terrorizing ones like the sea lamprey, who clutches onto the softest spot of the skin and sucks the soul out of you. It also latches onto humans who like to adventure into rivers and lakes but isn't as life-threatening. Unless you can withstand the nerve-wracking bite that might cause a life-threatening infection, steer clear of this monster in disguise. However, the unlucky victim of the sea lamprey's bite today is this fish who found himself in a nasty situation after encountering it. Things went uphill for the fish when a fisherman caught it and helped it out. In other news, some people are showing these fish off in shows. Those who dare test fate are taking the opportunity to experience how it would feel getting bitten by a vampire fish. Such a strange hobby. Number 3. Century-old ball and chain in the Thames. There are many reasons I'm personally glad I get to live in this area, and one strong reason is that our predecessors had a very cruel form of punishment. If you didn't end up being chained together and forced to offer cheap or even free labor to the wealthy, you'd end up being dunked into a river and a ball and chain tied to your leg as an offender. If you don't believe me, just take a look at this century-old ball and chain that was discovered in the Thames. Does it look like it could be used for any good? Probably not. We can only imagine how many people were taken out through such brutal means. Number 2. China's Shui River turns red. China has become one of the commendable technology hubs on the global platform. But today, what brings us to China is the Shui River incident that left many people wondering. Have you ever heard of an incident where a river turned red before? China broke the record when the Shui River turned red under mysterious circumstances. Another weird encounter still in China was when the skies abruptly turned red. Many have their theories of what might have caused this, which leaves us thinking, were we really supposed to see such phenomenal happenings? Number 1. Scuba Diver Spider. Scuba diving isn't a new sport to anyone who hasn't been living under a rock, but spider scuba is new to me. There's only one group of arachnids that pertains to this sport, and that's the diving bell spider. Instead of spending its life adventuring the whole world, it prefers to spend most of its time underwater. To help this little newfound love, Mother Nature gave this 8-legged insect this little gift of being able to blow air bubbles, which it can carry with it into the water and safe place on its underwater web nest for later use. Only a few people have been lucky to see it perform this trick, and it's as incredible as it sounds. Until next time, adios.